Hi everyone, it's Jen here doing my second process video for the Layout a Week design team. This month our theme was all about moms in honor of Mother's Day for May. And so I decided to do the photo that made my mom a mom, which was the birth of me, as I'm her oldest child. So I went back through an album and I found this photo of me and my mom. And I am only a day and a half old in this photo. So I thought it would be a really awesome one to scrap. And because my birthday has a story, and as everybody's birthday does, but my mom's and I have a unique story, and so I wanted to capture that on here. This is an original photo from 1976, and so you'll see there in a minute I'm actually putting it on the layout with photo corners so that I'm not putting any glue on it, because I need to be able to take this back off and actually scan it still, as this is from an old album that my mom had given me so that I could scrapbook it, or scrapbook all the photos out of it, I should say. So I am a little bit out of my comfort zone this time in that I'm using this sort of antiqued, I don't know if that's the right word, antiqued paper, older sort of style paper. This is I think it's called the Hope Chest collection from Pink Paisley. But it really fit sort of the colors in the photo and the age of the photo as well, and that this was 39 almost years ago soon. And so it worked really well. The one thing that I did do, and I did it before I started the video, was I put some gesso on the background just to tone it down a little bit. I don't know if it needed it. I think it was more my comfort zone. The other thing I did is this paper right here was actually like a mistable resist paper, and so I sprayed it with 3 different colors of Heidi Swapp Color Shine. I used the bronzer, I used, oh my gosh, gold, and I used a green. I think I used the mint, and then they kind of mixed and made this really beautiful sort of patina color, and you really can't tell in the video. Sorry, I'm not sure if you can tell in the close-ups, but it's gorgeous. It really does look like a patina, like copper. The other thing that I had in the kit that I got when I joined the design team was a nice big bag of ribbons. And I'll be honest and say I used to use ribbon a lot, especially when I used to make cards, and I don't use it very much anymore at all. And so I really wanted to challenge myself to use something I don't typically use. And so I pulled out these ribbons because they went with the feel of it as well. And you know, I'm a girl, and yeah, so I just kind of wanted to pull them all in together. I just thought they would work really well. So I'm actually using those as like a border, and I'm not using a whole lot of paper really. There's 3 layers of paper and a layer of vellum behind my photo, but I'm using this ribbon as accents instead of maybe using big strips of paper or other things, or using a border punch or something like that. So yeah, I cut out there, what I did is I threaded a brown ribbon through the lace on the bottom. I cut that out because it was supremely boring to watch me thread the ribbon. I just thought it looked kind of cool. And then I'm using these 6 different ribbons, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, as this border, and then I'm using this really big gold doily in the corner here, and I'm having it go off the paper, and I'll cut that later. I had started this layout with this photo on the other side, but my mom is looking in this direction, and so on the other side of the paper it just didn't look right. She was looking off the layout rather than looking into the center of the layout, and so that's why I moved everything over to this side. I had this Our Story, these gold sort of chunky glitter title or words in my stash for a bit, and I thought that would be perfect title for this layout, because you know, this is me being born and there's lots of things that I could have talked about, but what I wanted to talk about was the story of how my mom went into labor the day before her birthday. and it was super important. Oh, sorry for my head there. Super important for my mom for me to not be born on her birthday. She wanted me to have my own birthday, and so that's the story that I tell on this tag that I tuck in behind. So right now, I'm using. I started off using some Seafoam color shine. I just wanted a little bit more color in the background. It just was a little blah to me. I just needed a little bit more of that sort of greeny blue. And then I also added mint green as well. And I'm looking at it now that I'm done, and I think I might add just a little bit more at the edge of the top right edge of the paper. It just seems a little bit white, but we'll see whether I go back and do it or not. I got to this point and I felt like it needed a little bit more, and realized that I did have a bag with some flowers in it as well. And that's another thing I honestly haven't used in quite a while, but I have a huge jar, but these came with my package when I joined the design team. And so there were all blues and shades of green. And so I just worked on creating some little clusters on the bottom left and the top right of this layout. And I think it really pulls it all together. And there's those flowers on the paper, and I ended up covering, and I hadn't meant to, in the bottom right there's another big flower just like in the top right there. So it just sort of mimicked that a little bit and pulled it together. So I'm just fiddling with these, and I'm tucking them a little bit in between the layers and on top of each other and underneath layers, just to give them a little bit more interest. And then now I've decided, okay, I'm good. I'm going to stick down this big photo cluster here. And I left that big edge there because I'm going to put some words down, some very small words down there in addition to my larger title. So I'm just sticking that doily down a little bit more as it was sticking up, and now I'm working on this bottom little cluster of flowers. So you can see I'm tucking it in between all the different layers. Some are going on top, some are going underneath a bunch of layers, some are going on top of each other, and I just thought that helped add a little bit of interest. And then I kind of pulled them together by having them each have one of the same flower, and then I'm actually going to add some little enamel dots to the center of a couple, and that pulls it together a little bit as well. So cutting off the edge, that's where we're going to end up. I wish I pulled it over just a smidge, but that's okay. It's down now, right? So I'm putting some little jewels that were in this bag in the center of a couple of the flowers, and then there was some little push pins in there as well, which I also haven't used in ages, with little pearl tops. And so I put 2 in that top cluster and 1 in the bottom cluster. And the other thing I wanted to do too is I'm searching right now, and you see me clean up. Whenever I can't find anything, I can't figure something out, I always clean up. I was trying to find a certain brown ribbon. Of course, I found it when I was all finished, to thread that tag. But this little really thin blue ribbon actually probably works a lot better than what I was searching for. So I'm looking for little alphas. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to start off on one set and then realize they are too big for the amount of space that I have. And I'm just putting them down here on some wax paper so that I can spell it all out. And I'm not going to go too far yet, and now I'm moving on. The other thing too is those ones seemed really bright, and I didn't want this sort of subtitle to be so obvious. I wanted it to blend a little bit more because I wanted your eye to be drawn to that Our Story in the gold. So this little subtitle says Jennifer, September 6th, Patricia, September 7th, and that's the story that I'm telling on my tag that's tucked underneath. Is that my mom was actually due in August, and she went 2 weeks overdue, and then went into labor the day before her birthday. And everybody who's ever told me this story, including my mom, talks about how she did not want to have me on her birthday. She wanted me to have my own special day, and this baby had to come. It had to come right now. And yeah, there's some other stuff around there too. So what I did is I actually typed it all out and printed out on some cardstock, and then I put that cardstock on that craft label that I've tucked in underneath. So all you can see is just our two names and the dates, and then you have to pull the tag out to see the rest of the story. Sorry for my head in there while I'm trying to get these all nice and straight. See if there's anything else that I can tell you about this layout. I don't know. I think I was pleased with how it turned out, with how the colors worked. Usually these are kind of toned down colors for me. But yeah, I'm just really pleased with how it worked. And here I'm doing, of course, some gold color shine splatters. If you've ever watched any of my other videos, I think I'm incapable of doing a layout without doing that. And in the end, I actually pulled out my bronzer and did a little bit of sprinkle of that. And I had just bought the brand new, I think it's called Tea, color shine today at Michael's, and I did a little spritz of that one as well. I just felt like it needed a little bit more, something a little bit darker, just because that background is pretty darn close. And here I'm just adding a couple of enamels. I put a little blue heart in between our names, putting a little gold and a little brown. I'm sorry for my head's in the way. I'm trying to get that straight. My hair looks great. Not. Sorry, I'm blocking the whole thing. Yeah, so here's your close-ups, and you can see I added a little bit darker color shine. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again real soon. Bye now.